how old were you when you first saw American Me?
I would say about 17.
Okay.
17.
Okay, 17. Now, for some reason, I do believe that to a certain extent, that movie had an effect on us as a culture, okay, as raza. And I'm going to tell you why. At least in my neck of the woods, when they were calling shots, like gathered up the guys, let's get them all over here, we're going to have a meeting here, that made them look like shot callers.
Right.
And that's kind of what we were talking about earlier when people had the mentality, I got to go to the pin.
Right.
I got to go to the pin. That's our Super Bowl in a sense. Okay. Do you believe that it did have an effect on people on the streets?
I believe that most movies, and not just flip it, but a karate movie.
Okay.
I believe you watch a karate movie and you come out like, when you're a kid, chopping things.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
A breakdancing movie, right?
Yeah.
I thought I was like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, exactly.
So you emulate what you see.
Right.
I believe, yes, I agree with your question. I believe that movie did have impact in a lot of a raza thinking that I want to be that. And several movies, for example, or Blood In, Blood Out, or Bound by Honor, they changed the name.
Yeah.
I believe that them movies do have an impact. Why? Because most of us youngsters at the time, they dress like us. They talk like us. So that's where we're most likely going to end up at. So through word of mouth, hey, you got to be hard. So that's what they're acting. They're actors, but we don't know the difference from an act and reality. We know the difference, but we can't tell them apart because we're so zoned in the movie to where that's what we want to emulate as a kid.
Right.
It could be one reason or another. We don't have that figure father that's on us. Hey, what is he watching? You know, hey, don't watch that. Or, for example, my wife and my kids are like, don't watch WWE or WW, whatever they call it, right? WWF back then.
Yeah.
Because they're going to want to be wrestling, breaking each other's neck.
Exactly, yeah.
So, yes, I agree with you. I think that movie did make an impact in our culture. It did.
You know, during that time, I was doing shows and I was traveling. And the majority of the shows that we were doing, whether we were in Detroit, whether we were in North Carolina, we came across a lot of white and black people because I was traveling with pretty much High C, Second Tenant AMG, DJ Quick, you know, a black crew, okay? I was the only Chicano in the crew. So when people would see me and knew that I was from LA, that was the number one question was, is American Me real? Is that the way it is for you guys? And I said, well, I'm going to answer for myself. I can't answer for all of LA, and I won't do that. Right. The next question would be, believe it or not, this is early 90s. Okay. Is it true that Bloods and Crips really kill each other over a color? I mean, and you want to say no, yes, yeah.
But it's reality.
It's reality.
It's reality.
You know, but it's true. I remember because I was wearing an LA hat when I was traveling. Right. Hey, you're from out there, so American Me is real? Right. And you say yes, and then at the same time you want to say not exactly, but it's hard to give us, but other than yes. Right. You know.
And there's a lot of people that, you know, or let's just say a lot of youngsters when they get into hood, they don't even know the history of why they're fighting another hood. And it could be because it all started over a girl.
Everybody says that.
And then that beef turned into something else, and it evolved something. It got bigger than what it is.
Right.
I know the history of my hood, how we started, right? Mm-hmm. And I could just say like, wow, like I was there when it happened. I'm ashamed to say it when it happened, but it's like, dude, it split us up. It split us up where I found myself at a time like, those are my best friends on the other side. And like, damn, we're forced to like not like each other. To this day, I got love for some fools on the other side that it's like, man, they never did nothing to me and I never did nothing to them. But one day it just split us up. You know what I mean? Like an earthquake came and there was a crack and you're on that side and I'm on this side. Like it's messed up. But movies do have impact on people and especially the youth, it's not that they don't know better. It's just they're not wise enough or lived through enough things to know, man, that's not for me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Okay. I just thought it was important to bring up because, you know, it was funny because when that movie came out on VHS, me and my brother, you know, we were staying together. And that movie was on regular rotation. You know, put the movie on, eat breakfast, eat lunch, eat dinner. And we were watching the movie.
When I seen it, it even had the words that you couldn't even rent it out. Somebody had got it before it came out. Mm-hmm. And when they put it on, it was on my homeboy Chino's house. I remember looking at it and I was like, what's this? This is a pretty cool movie. It's a trippy movie. We were in the couch like, you know, tripping out on it. I was already from the hood. So, and I remember who brought it, you know, he lived somewhere in Alma. He brought it and he slapped it on. It was VHS. There was letters in the bottom, yellow letters. And it wasn't a subtitle thing. It was just that, you know, not to rent it. But I remember around that time because there was rumors going around. The neighborhood next to us was Hazard, and I was hearing negative stuff. Dudes were getting killed over it, and it was like, oh, damn. This is a real deal right here, you know?
Yeah.
And as a youngster, you sometimes, like you act like you don't care, but you really do. Yeah. Really do, because it's hitting close to home. These cats, we were going to junior high with them. They would bring Hazard and buses to our junior high because they didn't have a junior high.
Right.
And that's another thing about my city. Not to go on to something else, but we have elementaries, junior high, a high school, and a college in our city. So on a positive note.
Yeah.
But on a negative note, the violence was overtaking some of the positive stuff in our city, you know? And it was because sometimes the movies, or some people try to say over music, or you know what I mean? But it's on who's around you to tell you, look, man, this is reality and this is a movie. Or it did happen back then, but you're not going to be like the movie, you know what I mean? You're not a movie character here.
Right.
But you have a choice, you know?
Yeah. I remember as a kid, I saw Boulevard Nights. And now that was my brother's movie because he was from a hood as well. And when I saw it as a kid, like, I'll be honest, I was like, everybody's a puto, you know, fuck you, puto, you know. And I was like,
it seemed like corny, right?
It did, bro. Right. And I was like, I just don't get it, like, but that was my brother's lifestyle at that time.
Yeah. So he understood it,
right? And it was the first of its kind. So we go to drive-in, eat cheap driving pizza, you know, and I'm just sitting there fucking with that speaker blasting right here, bro, and then fuck you, puto, what's up, puto, you know. And I was just like, I don't get it. Yeah. But one thing I will say that because Danny De La Paz, who played that guy Chuco, after that, this is the impact that I saw. Every neighborhood had a Chuco now. Yeah. Because of that movie. Yeah. You know, and like I remember one of my boys got jumped in. I was like, what do they call you? Chuco? And I was like, okay.
We had one too.
Okay.
So I have a picture in the book of one with. Yeah. You know what? It's just back then them names. You know what I mean? Were those were the names, right? Flaco or Chuco, you know what I mean? Puppet, right?
Very true. Very true. I remember one time I almost got my ass kicked. Okay, but I was honest. Everybody used to hit up like soy, like I'm soy flaco.
Soy,
you know, soy bandit.
Yeah.
And I saw the homies hit up their names, and on purpose, when nobody was around, I put soy sauce. Okay.
Hey, who's sauce?
Well, they found out it was me because the writing was all fucked up.
Dang.
And I just admitted it, and I said, yeah, it was me. Sorry. So, soy sauce. Anyways, all right. Let's talk a little bit about you facing those charges. Take us back to the very beginning, as much as you can give us.
All right. So, as I was going up in the ropes, I started hanging out more at Lowell. It was a hangout. Yeah. It was a hangout. That's where my dog, you know, that's what we call our best friend. That's where his cousins lived at. And like I had said earlier, it was a place, it was a party. So I hung out there with them.
Right.
When I got in the hood, I started hanging out more with Flaco, his brother, and Bugs. You know what I mean? That was our crew, Dreamer. It was us four. You know what I mean? And street politics started coming because our boys were selling a lot of dope. They were selling dope off the hood and our street, and like anybody neighborhood, every either clique or hangouts sold dope. That's what we knew. Yeah. That's what everybody knew there, right?
Yeah.
That's what we did, and but politics started coming in from prison or wherever it's coming from, and they want their portion. And me not knowing the severity of it, I'm just riding along with my best friends. Ride or die. That's just the way I was. I'm loyal.
Right.
And they're loyal to me as well. So one goes down, we all go down. And, you know, we made decisions that either some people look at them as poor decisions or not falling in line with others. And it got us in some trouble.
Yeah.
It got us in some trouble. And that's where the whole neighborhood, I felt, it kind of turned on us or they didn't have our backs. And decisions were made where people got killed and we were blamed for it when it should have been the whole neighborhood.